Remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDN TV Nigeria. Click on the subscribe button and be the first to get notifications. And now, let's join ace broadcaster MAMODE AKUGHA as he takes us inside the Niger Delta.
Hello out there and welcome to the program. It's Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's oil-rich region. I'm your regular host, MAMODE AKUGHA. The Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, has been commended for its proposed investment in deep-sea fishing. Some Niger Deltans who gave the commendation recently in Port Harcourt are optimistic that deep-sea fishing will create jobs and boost the Niger Delta economy. Our correspondent now tells us more.
Soon after the Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, held its Public-Private Partnership Summit in April this year, Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of the Commission, Dr. Samuel Ogbuku, has been meeting with prospective investors. One of the economic sectors the NDDC helmsman is passionate about is deep-sea fishing.
Around the Atlantic coastal line in this region, we don't even have a single fishing trawler. We want to partner with people that are going to fishing trawler businesses. This is an intervention agency. Let us also intervene in the food security of our people. Because for you to see fish and shrimp, we have the river, but these things will buy them at a very expensive rate. The people that fish in our coastal line are the Chinese. And they export this fish, they don't sell it to us. So let us partner as a people to think of how to change the narrative of this place.
For many, deep-sea fishing is an untapped gold mine in the Niger Delta, which accounts for 395 nautical miles out of the Nigeria's estimated coastline of 420 nautical miles. This is because fishing activity is confined to the creeks, as the local fisher folks in the Niger Delta cannot afford the equipment required to engage in deep-sea fishing. Former spokesperson for the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, I Chief Anap Sarigbe, welcomes the proposed investment in deep-sea fishing, which he says would provide food security for Nigeria as a whole.
Well, fishing is a very good investment. I said it's our traditional occupation. So if we are assisted with deep-sea fishing boats, definitely we are going to have the fish. We will make profit for ourselves and also the NDDC, for NDDC to also give loan to others. Two, we can also provide fish. Instead of Nigeria's importing fish, we can have surplus fish and also sell to the various cities in Nigeria, thereby conserving our foreign reserve. So I think it's a very good business, and I can assure you the return on investment side.
Annual reports of the National Bureau of Statistics show that major oil-producing states in the Niger Delta have consistently ranked among states with the highest unemployment rates in the country due to an ailing industrial sector in the region. However, Dr. Isaiah Fube, an agriculturist, believes deep-sea fishing holds huge prospects for employment generation and wealth creation in the Niger Delta.
If the government and the people are responsive enough and invest massively in fishing activities, it takes away a lot of people from the labor market. Oil business might stop booming if we have restiveness. But if fishing and fishing activities are enhanced in Niger Delta, these aspects and these persons will be gainfully engaged, and it will help in the economy.
Dr. Fubi is also convinced that the penetration rate of a well-managed fishery industry would be massive in the Niger Delta.
This is a place that is adored with all features that will enhance fishing and fishery activities. It has good environment. One thing in location of an industry is the availability of manpower, availability of resources, and as well as the availability of market. All these ones abound in the Niger Delta region. Niger Delta itself is cross-creeked with a lot of creeks, rivers, seas, and oceans. So fishing and fishery activities are best done in the Niger Delta region.
With Nigeria's inflation rate currently at over 24%, many small and medium enterprises are in distress, forcing many Nigerians into the labor market. A well-developed fishery industry is expected to diversify the Nigeria's economy, generate employment and additional income for the country.
Niger Delta Development Commission, NDDC, making a difference. Inside the Niger Delta.
Meanwhile, immediate past spokesperson for the Pan-Niger Delta Forum PANDEV, High Chief Anabs Saraigbe, has hailed President Tinubu for appointing a minister to pilot affairs of the Ministry of Niger Delta Affairs, contrary to speculations that the ministry was about to be scrapped. While speaking to Inside the Niger Delta recently in Port Harcourt, High Chief Saraigbe called on President Tinubu to give the Niger Delta region the attention it deserves in his administration.
Tinubu, if he wants to succeed, it means he wants a stable economy. And if you want a stable economy, he must marry the Niger Delta. If he did not marry the Niger Delta, there is no way he can get stable economy. We are ready to work with him. We voted for him, we supported him, and so he should support us. He should work with us so that we can together make Nigeria great.
The former spokesperson for PANDEV also called on the president to reappoint the Dr. Samuel Lubuku-led NDDC management team in the event of constituting a new board for the commission.
We had told him in the past to allow the present MD and his team to stay in NDDC. He should give them all the support and let them stop interfering. They had not allowed the board of NDDC to stay. No board of NDDC has stayed beyond 2 years. Whereas the law, statute of NDDC says 4 years.
Inside the Niger Delta.
President Bola Tinubu had, in a last-minute move, redeployed Engineer Abubakar Momo from the Ministry of Youth Development to the Ministry of Niger Delta Development in the constitution of his cabinet. The following commentary is a brief profile of the new Minister of Niger Delta Development.
Abubakar Momo, a chemical engineer, is a chieftain of the All Progressives Congress, APC, who hails from Etsako East Local Government Area of Edo State. Engineer Momo is a grassroots politician who started his political career as a councillor. He was later elected as a local government chairman in the transition to democratic governance in Nigeria. Between 1999 and 2003, he represented Etsako East in the Edo State House of Assembly, where he distinguished himself as one of the most performing lawmakers. In 2003, Engineer Momo, a student union leader in his days at the University of Benin, was elected to represent Etsako Federal Constituency in House of Representatives for a single term. He later returned to the Green Chamber in 2011 and has many significant constituency projects to his credit. The new Minister of Niger Delta Development has a reputation of being passionate about public service and development. He holds a master's degree in chemical engineering from the University of Lagos and is a registered member of the Council for Regulation of Engineering in Nigeria. He also holds a master's degree in public administration from the Ambrose Ali University, Ekpoma. Engineer Momo is a fellow of the Institute of Public Administration. he is expected to deploy his experience and expertise to reposition the Ministry of Niger Delta Development.
Inside the Niger Delta. AKUGHA Group, oil and gas, dredging, power and air transportation. AKUGHA Group, petroleum product sufficiency, energy sustainability and infrastructure development.
Eminent Nigerians, notably President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, ex-President Goodluck Jonathan, and former military head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, recently paid glowing tributes to elder statesman Chief Edwin Clark as he turned 96. Speaking during the public presentation of Chief Clark's autobiography entitled Brutally Frank, which was part of activities marking the 96th birthday of the nonagenarian, Nigerians from all walks of life lauded his unrelenting campaign for a united, indivisible country.
Following the abduction of 276 schoolgirls at Chibok, Borno State in April 2014, Chief Edwin Clark stopped celebrating his birthdays. However, Chief Clark, convener of the Pan-Niger Delta Forum, PANDEF, and leader of the Southern and Middle Belt Leaders Forum, decided to lift the self-imposed restriction on his birthday celebration this year. At his well-attended 96th birthday celebration recently, Chief Clark unveiled his latest book entitled Brutally Frank. The book, which is a chronicle of major events shaping Nigeria's national life for several decades, was written to highlight the present challenges of national unity and cohesion. At the public presentation of his book, the nonagenarian called for a restructured Nigerian federation that guarantees justice, equity and fairness for all sections of the country in principle and practice.
In Nigeria, where everybody is equal, where anybody can rise to the high position, no matter what the tribe you belong to, no matter what religion you belong to. That is the Nigeria I want everybody to have.
Chief Edwin Clark, a London-trained lawyer, was Commissioner of Education in the defunct Midwestern region, where he introduced policies that gave young Nigerians quality education across the country at the time. He was later appointed Minister of Information under the administration of former Head of State, General Yakubu Gowon, retired. The former Nigerian leader, a one-time military head of state, said Chief Clark had brought his wealth of experience to douse tension on the polity as Minister of Information.
He was helpful not only in explaining government policies and programs and in the effort to rebuild our unity in the country. I also found him useful in our vision of building a common identity within West African sub-region.
In their separate remarks, President Bola Tinubu, represented at the occasion by Senator George Akume, Secretary to the Government of the Federation, and former President Goodluck Jonathan, both acknowledged Chief Clark's immense contributions to national unity and cohesion.
Chief K. Clark belongs to that very rare club of extraordinary men, patriots, who at any point in time could be relied upon to stop any effort that could lead to the dismemberment of this country. We are greater when we are introduced as Nigerians than when we are introduced on the basis of ethnic particularism.
When I set up the 2014 National Conference, there was debate about percentage, is it for 70% to third or quarters or whatever, that could make them to come up and agree on something. And most of the resolutions were not voted. People agreed. And from the information I got, E.K. Clark was one of the fathers that worked behind to make sure that North, South, East, and West agree on most of those things. Thank you for your services for this country, and your name will surely be written in letters of gold.
The occasion of Chief Clark's 96th birthday was a roll call of eminent traditional rulers, including the Oni of Ife, Tortiv, Emir of Kano, and Amayanabo of Tuambras, all of whom lauded the leadership qualities of the elder statesman. Some of the guests who graced the occasion of Chief Clark's 96th birthday celebration were past and present federal lawmakers and governors. They were unanimous in their submission that the celebrant had dedicated the better part of his life to sustaining the firmness of the grip in the handshake across the Niger.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Medical practitioners and healthcare providers have called on the Rivers State government to revamp moribund primary and secondary health centers in parts of the state outside its capital city of Port Harcourt. This follows a skewed distribution of health facilities that continues to affect quality of life in communities located outside Port Harcourt, as our correspondent reports.
Rivers State is a major oil-producing state in the Niger Delta, where host communities outside Port Harcourt have been the worst victims of constant oil spillages and gas flaring by multinational oil companies. Over the years, the negative externalities of crude oil and gas production have seriously compromised public health in host communities where chronic ailments like cancer and hypertension are on the increase. Unfortunately, most urban towns in Rivers State like Bori, Ahoda, Degema and Boni do not have functional health centers to attend to rising cases of disease prevalence. On a recent trip to Boni, our crew discovered that the Boni Central Hospital had been in a state of dilapidation after many years of administrative neglect. From outside, it was easy to tell that the hospital had fallen into decay as its entire premises was covered with overgrown weeds. The state of disrepair was even more telling inside the hospital, where our crew was confronted with broken doors, torn mattresses and stench oozing from its conveniences. The environment was unsafe for human habitation, yet a few indigent folks who could not afford proper health care elsewhere had been compelled to patronize the Boni General Hospital at the time of filing this report. Some medical practitioners and healthcare providers are worried that mortality rates will continue to be on the increase in parts of Rivers State where primary and secondary health centers had been abandoned by the government.
In a situation where a general hospital cannot offer basic surgical services for pregnant women and other minor ailments, makes the people have to travel far to access these services, and a lot can happen in the process of traveling.
If you can't give emergency services, it's death now. Because if someone is having an asthmatic attack and you don't have salbutamol inhaler, let me not just use Ventolin as a brand name, to give, and you don't have a nebulizer to nebulize the person can as well pack up.
In November 2022, the Rivers State government commissioned the 26 billion naira Dr. Peter Odili Cancer and Nuclear Medicine Center in Port Harcourt. Ironically, health centers outside the state capital have been left to rot away. Dr. Ebienju Olaka, a gynecologist, calls for immediate revamping of health centers located in towns and villages outside the capital city, which have been at the receiving end of disease prevalence.
So we have to look for, ways to make sure that we have all it takes, the necessary equipment, tools, as it were, to give prompt, adequate, and timely, care to our patients.
Most villages and towns contending with disease prevalence as a result of dilapidated health system in Rivers State are host communities to multinational oil companies. Pharmacist Agboma Isomibe calls for the intervention of oil companies as part of their corporate social responsibility to their host communities.
It shouldn't be heard anywhere that you have a general hospital right there in Boni that doesn't have medication. The companies that, make money from that community should also, as a corporate social responsibility, look into it. They should do something urgently.
Under 8 years of the Nyesom Wike administration, development was focused on capital projects, most of which were sited in Port Harcourt City and Obiakpo local government area. Current Governor Similaye Fubara has been called upon to pay more attention to human development and declare a state of emergency in the health sector that has suffered untold neglect for many years.
Inside the Niger Delta.
The Bayelsa state government has vowed to get to the root of recent disturbances in Nembe Kingdom that have claimed lives and left many internally displaced in Opunembe community. Deputy Governor of the state, Senator Lawrence Erujakpo, came up with this position recently at Opunembe, where he went to interact with members of the community following increased rate of armed violence in Nembe Kingdom.
On Tuesday, the 15th of August 2023, unidentified gunmen opened fire on innocent members of Opunembe community, killing 3 persons in the process. Alarmed by this development, Governor Doyediri summoned a State Security Council meeting and directed his deputy, Senator Lawrence Erujakpo, to visit the embattled community and get first-hand knowledge of the security situation in Nembe Kingdom. While at Opunembe, Senator Erujakpo alleged that the police headquarters had deployed a troop to the community, where a joint security task force was already on ground to curtail violence. The Bayelsa State Deputy Governor, who accused the police of conniving with hoodlums and intimidating innocent citizens, said security reports at the disposal of the state government had identified some suspected perpetrators of the mayhem in Opunembe community.
It would be good we remove the hand of the monkey from this soup so it doesn't look like a human hand. So we're really going to appeal to the community to remain calm. The government of Bayelsa is a responsive government. We are following up, and that is why the governor has asked me to be here, and we're not going to allow anybody to intimidate them.
At the Nembe General Hospital, a gunshot victim identified as Ifiemi Emena was still lying in a critical condition. The Bayelsa State Deputy Governor immediately directed that the gunshot victim be evacuated to Yenagoa, the state capital, for proper medical attention.
In that car now, let us evacuate her quickly.
In the meantime, the Bayelsa state government has inaugurated a judicial panel of inquiry to get to the root of the recent killings in Nembe Kingdom. While inaugurating the panel on behalf of his boss, the Bayelsa state deputy governor pointed out that part of its mandate was to ascertain the remote and immediate causes of violence in Nembe Kingdom and make recommendations on how to restore peace and security in the kingdom.
We believe that those lives that were lost, those 3 lives that were lost, governments and even the citizens and family desire and deserve and need to know what was the cause of those deaths.
The Bayelsa state government has since donated basic supplies to victims of violence in Nembe Kingdom, pending the outcome of investigations into the disturbances in affected communities. The 6-member panel of inquiry, headed by retired Justice Margaret Akpomiemie, has 3 weeks to submit its report.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Finally on the program today, we go to Delta State. Director General of Special Duties Unit attached to Government House, Asaba, Chief Frank Omari, says the Delta State government has recorded significant progress with the clearing of blocked drainages obstructing free flow of water in parts of Uwe and Warri. Chief Omari, however, appealed to residents of major towns and cities in Delta State to change their attitude towards the environment to maintain proper sanitation, public health, and safety.
In anticipation of the impending 2023 flood outbreak, as predicted by the Nigerian Meteorological Agency NIMET, Delta State Governor, Right Honorable Sheriff Oburewuri, recently directed that all illegal buildings and structures erected on natural water channels be demolished. Recently, Director General of Special Duties, Chief Frank Omari, whose office has been mandated to carry out the governor's directive, mobilized swamp boogies to 6 different locations in Warri and Uwe to open up drainages that had been blocked for years. In a chat with Inside the Niger Delta, Chief Omari said he discovered that the attitude of residents was largely responsible for blocked drainages and other environmental challenges encountered in parts of Delta State.
Sanitation day. Where is it? We're playing football on primary school field or secondary school field. You are supposed to, for a month, you are asked to clean your environment for just 3 hours, 3 to 4 hours. That's the time you want to go and play football. That is the time you are going to see neighbors. It is not the making of the government. It is the making of our people.
Chief Omare warned that the government of Right Honorable Oborewori will be decisive in ridding the state of illegal structures obstructing free flow of water in residential and industrial areas. In less than 2 weeks into the exercise, several illegal structures have been demolished, while major canals have also been cleared. Some traders at Igbudu Market gave a thumbs up to the Delta State government for its intervention.
The thing na problem to us, but as government don't take steps, so because if beg government say make it still do well for us, make everything dey okay, make business dey flow, because of the water, business not dey flow, we not dey sell.
Na very nice job wetin you do so, because they make us now say water don't go fit enter our compounds and houses again anymore.
In the same vein, residents of Uboreke community said the intervention came with a huge relief for them.
All the flooded homes we used to have before, no home was flooded this last rainfall. So we are happy.
When I reach here, everywhere dry. First in history for this place, say this place dry.
The ongoing demolition of illegal structures in Delta State is part of efforts being made by government to stop unplanned development, which continues to militate against environmental sanitation, human security, as well as public health and safety.
Inside the Niger Delta.
Well, that's the size of our package on the program for today. Inside the Niger Delta, the authentic voice of Nigeria's Oil Rich region will be back same time, same station next week. Until then, you can follow us on our social media handles shown right now on your screen. And please remember to subscribe to our YouTube channel at NDNTV Nigeria. Until next week, I am MAMODE AKUGHA thanking you for staying tuned. Bye for now.